Class 9, Chapter 6, Tissues, Module 1. In this module, we will discuss about tissues, types of plant tissues, meristematic tissues and permanent tissues, and types of meristematic tissues. In the previous chapter, we have studied about cell. We know that cell is the basic unit of life. And as a house is made up of bricks, similarly, a living organism is made up of cell, right? So we say that cell is the basic unit of life. You know it very well that organisms are of two types. What are these two types? Unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular organisms are those organisms that are made up of only one cell. For example, amoeba, paramecium and euglena. So what are unicellular organisms? The organisms that are made up of a single cell are unicellular organisms. And examples are amoeba, paramecium and euglena. In unicellular organisms, a single cell performs all functions. For example, digestion, exchange of gases and excretion, right? Now what about multicellular organisms? In multicellular organisms, there are a number of cells. There are millions of cells in fact. Trees, birds and humans, all these are multicellular organisms. So now you have understood the difference between unicellular and multicellular organism. Now let's see what are tissues in multicellular organisms. In multicellular organisms, similar types of cells together make an organism. Now what do we mean by similar type of cells? By similar type of cells, we mean that those cells that have a similar shape, size and structure. So similar type of cells together make a group and perform a particular function. What are these groups of cells called? These groups of cells are called tissues. So similar type of cells form a group and perform a specific function. This group of cells forms a tissue. Now how will we define a tissue? We can define a tissue like this. A group of cells that are similar in structure and perform a particular function is called a tissue. Now, there are different types of tissues, right? And different type of tissues perform different functions. If we take example of blood, blood is a tissue. In humans, blood flows in the whole body to transport oxygen. And muscle cells, they contract and relax to help in movement. Similarly, in plants, xylem is a tissue. Xylem conducts water from roots to leaves. So like this, different types of tissues perform different functions. And this is called division of labor. So multicellular organisms show division of labor. Now we have understood what are tissues. And now let us see what is the role of tissues in multicellular organisms. Similar type of cells make tissue. Some tissues together make an organ. Different types of organs make an organ system and different organ systems make an organism. Right, shall we repeat? Let's see again. Similar type of cells make tissue. Some tissues together make organ. Different organs make organ system and different organ system make an organism. Let us revise the main points again. Cell is the basic unit of life. Unicellular organisms are made up of a single cell. This single cell performs all the functions like digestion, respiration, etc. Multicellular organisms have a large number of cells. A group of cells that are similar in structure and perform a particular function is called a tissue. In multicellular organisms, tissues show division of labor. Do plants and animals have similar type of tissues? No. Plants and animals have different type of tissues. Why this is so? To understand the reason behind this, let us understand the structure and function of plants and animals. Plants are stationary. They are fixed at their place. That is, they do not move from one place to another. They need less energy. Since they are upright, that is, they are straight, they need a support and thus they have more supportive tissues. And these supportive tissues have dead cells. On the other hand, you have seen animals also. What do? They move from one place to another, and so they need more energy in comparison to plants. Thus, animals have living cells in their tissues. And in animals and plants, the growth pattern is also different. In plants, growth occurs in only some regions. Stem grows on the upper side of the plant and roots grow on the lower side of the plant. In these regions of stem and root, that is where growth takes place, there are certain tissues that divide throughout life and make new cells. So we can say that there are some regions in plants that are dividing regions and some that are non-dividing regions, right? On the other hand, in animals, the growth is uniform and there is no dividing and non-dividing region in animals, and growth takes place in all parts of the body. So due to differences in structure and functions, there are different type of tissues in plants and animals. Let's revise the difference in plants and animals in a tabular form. Plants are stationary, they do not move, they remain upright and thus have more supportive tissues. They have more dead cells. Animals move from one place to another, they have living cells in their tissues. Plants, they consume less energy. Animals, they consume more energy. In plants, growth occurs in some regions only. There are dividing and non-dividing regions in plants. In animals, growth is uniform. There are no dividing and non-dividing regions in plant tissues. We have just discussed that there are two regions in plants. What are these two regions? Dividing and non-dividing, right? In both these regions, there are different type of tissues. What does it mean? It means that there are two main types of tissues in plants. The one which divides and make new cells and the other which do not divide. The tissues that divide throughout their life to make new cells are called meristematic tissues. What do we call them? Meristematic tissues. The tissues that divide throughout their life are called meristematic tissues. And what is the other type of tissue? The other type of plant tissue is permanent tissue. When the meristematic tissues lose their ability to divide and take up a specific function, they are called permanent tissues. How will we define it? The tissues that lose their ability to divide and take up a specific function are called permanent tissues. So, there are two types of plant tissues, meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Shall we repeat them again? Meristematic tissues are those that divide throughout their life and permanent tissues are those that lose their ability to divide and take up a specific function. Right? So now I think the difference between meristematic and permanent tissues is clear to you. Am I right? Now let's first discuss about meristematic tissue in detail. Where are meristematic tissues found in plants? Meristematic tissues are found in those regions of plants where growth takes place. For example, stem and root. We can also say that a plant grows only in that region where meristematic tissues are present. Now, meristematic tissues are of three types. What are these three types? These three types are first apical meristem, second lateral meristem, and third intercalary meristem. Let's repeat the three types: apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. Apical meristem. Let's first discuss about apical meristem. Where is apical meristem found in plants? In plants, apical meristem is present in the tips of stems and roots. You can see these regions in plants. Apical meristem is present in these regions. See in the diagram, stem tip and root tip. What is the function of apical meristem? The function of apical meristem is to increase the length of stem and root. The apical meristem present in the tip of a stem increases the length of the stem, and the apical meristem present in the tip of root increases the length of root. Let's revise. Location: apical meristem is present at the growing tips of stem and the root, and its function is to increase the length of the stem and root. Lateral meristem. Lateral meristem is also called cambium. Where is lateral meristem present? Lateral meristem is found below the bark and vascular bundle. What is bark? You have seen the surface of trees. The surface of trees is hard and thick. This hard, thick and rough surface of the trees is called bark. And xylem and phloem, the conducting tissues in plants, together form the vascular bundle. So, lateral meristem is present in the vascular bundle and below the bark. What is the function of lateral meristem? The function of lateral meristem is to increase the horizontal growth of plants or to increase the girth. What is girth? The thickness. So, the function of lateral meristem is to increase the girth or thickness of stem and root. Look at the diagram. The lateral meristem is present in the stem lengthwise and it increases the thickness of stem. Let us see again the location and function of lateral meristem. Location: lateral meristem is present below the bark of the tree and in the vascular bundle, and its function is to increase the thickness or girth of the stem and root. Now come third, the intercalary meristem. Intercalary meristem is present near the node. Where? Near the node. You can see in the diagram this node. The node is the region in the plant from where leaves and new branches grow. So, intercalary meristem is present near the node. What is the function of intercalary meristem? The function of intercalary meristem is to increase the length of stem and branches. So, intercalary meristem is present near the node and its function is to increase the length of stem and branches. Now, you might have understood what are the three types of meristematic tissues, where are they found and what is their function. Now, can you tell me which meristematic tissue is present in root tips? Absolutely right, apical meristem. Now, let us revise the main points again. Meristematic tissue is of three types: apical meristem, lateral meristem and intercalary meristem. Apical meristem is present at the growing tips of stem and root. It increases the length of stem and root. Lateral meristem is present below the bark of the plant and in the vascular bundle. It increases the thickness of the stem and the root. Intercalary meristem is present near the node. It increases the length of the stem and branches. Now we have thoroughly understood the three types of meristematic tissues. Let us see the features of the cells that form meristematic tissue. What is the first feature? The first feature is the cells are very active. Now, what does it mean to be active in case of meristematic cells? In case of meristematic cells, being active means that the cells keep on dividing continuously and make new cells, right? The second feature is the cytoplasm present in meristematic cells is dense and the nucleus is prominent. You can see the prominent nucleus in the diagram. The cell wall of meristematic cells is thin and the cell wall is made up of cellulose. And the last feature is there are no vacuoles in the meristematic cells. Now an important question arises here. Why are there no vacuoles in meristematic cells? We know that the presence of vacuoles is one of the important features of our plant cells. Why are they not present in meristematic cells? The function of vacuoles is to store substances in a cell and to keep the plant cell turgid or swollen. Since the meristematic cells keep on dividing their entire life, that is why they do not need to store substances. And this is the reason that meristematic cells lack vacuoles. Right? Let us understand this again. The meristematic cells keep on dividing their entire life and That is why they do not need to store substance. And this is the reason that meristematic cells lack vacuoles. Let us revise the main points again. Features of meristematic cells: the cells are very active, they have dense cytoplasm and are